It's 1 p.m. Central African time, coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios. This is On Point. Thanks so much for being with us. My name is Nzinga, and a special welcome to our S3 viewers. In the headlines at this hour, the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial returned to the Pretoria High Court this morning with a second docket in the spotlight. Former eThekwini Mayor Zandile Mshololo and 21 co-accused are back in the High Court in Durban. And Northern Ireland's Rory McIlroy believes he landed an important moral victory when he defended his Canadian Open golf title. In our business news, Bright Khumalo will bring us the latest on the markets front, and we'll be taking a look at how Africa is receiving more investment as they recover from COVID-19. This and so much more coming up this hour. First, here's your lead. Good afternoon. The second docket in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial was in the spotlight today when proceedings resumed in the High Court in Pretoria. The court has heard that the additional docket was never pursued. This comes on the back of an application brought by the defense counsel for the fifth accused, advocate Zandile Mshololo, who asked the state to explain why the persons implicated in that 2019 docket were never prosecuted. On Friday, proceedings were stopped when Mshololo asked for clarity on the additional docket. This 2019 investigation implicated the persons who were present in the home on the night that the soccer star was shot and killed in 2014. The accused included Meyiwa's then-girlfriend, Khumalo, and 6 others. SABC News senior reporter Griselda Lewis is standing by for us with an update. A very good afternoon to you, Griselda. We saw a little bit of tension in court a little bit earlier on between Judge Maumela and Advocate Defo and an issue of material facts and letters. Tell us more.
Well, and I'll come to that just very shortly, but you recall the last time that this case had been postponed, it was over the fact that Advocate Zandile Mshololo, who was the representative for accused number 5, had wanted to know what the status was regarding this second docket that we've been hearing about relating to the killing of soccer sensation Senzo Meyiwa. So that letter she received this morning from the Director of Public Prosecutions, the South Gauteng Court Division. And in that letter, remember we've been asking, this second docket, which is believed to point towards, allegations that the accused in this matter should be those that were inside the house when Senzo Meyiwa was killed, that document returning here today and in court, we're hearing now that the Director of Public Prosecutions had made no decision pertaining to that second docket. And also, what the letter states is that that was just an opinion of a junior advocate, as it's been put in that particular letter, and basically says that it has no merit. So essentially, what the DPP is saying is that no decision had been taken regarding that second docket. Many eyebrows had been raised about why there were 2 dockets pertaining to this particular investigation. Let's take a listen to what Advocate Zandile Mshololo had read out inside court pertaining to this document that was received.
The content, my lord, is still the same. To say the DPP South Gauteng is distancing, is saying he did not make any decision otherwise regarding this docket, which is the second docket, my lord. And the DPP South Gauteng is saying the alleged documents do not have any status as such, was an internal opinion from a junior state advocate, which was without merit.
So this morning in Zinga, there was one letter that had been handed in from the Director of Public Prosecutions, and then a few moments later, there seemed to be a clarification letter with the same contents that had been given here inside court. So when they wanted to submit both those letters, Advocate Defo, Malisela Defo, who is the representative for accused number 1 to 4, basically objected and said that he has a problem with the contents of that letter, and he says that those letters have defects. Let's take a listen to what then turned out to be an exchange between the presiding judge, Maumela, as well as Advocate Malisela Defo.
We are definitely being excluded from these proceedings by this court Because there are very, very
If you are
material
not going to
issues.
respond to what I asked you, sit down. Sit down, Advocate Tefo. If you are not going to address dates, sit down.
I cannot be forced.
Unless you want to be in contempt of this court. I asked you a specific question. If you are not answering me on that, sit down.
Lordship, the best way, let's go to the chambers.
No,
Finish
I'm
it
not
up.
going to the chambers. About
But you
you
cannot
trying
allow
to
this.
undermine me in court. I'm not going to any chambers.
But now the accused 1 to 4 has been undermined here. We
Sit down.
cannot prolong this case.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Advocate, sit down.
But I don't agree to that.
So what happened prior to that exchange, Nzinga, was that Advocate Malisa Latifo believed that, he was being excluded from the proceedings. He basically wanted to address what he refers to as defects in these 2 letters that have been sent by the Director of Public Prosecutions. But the judge not allowing that, saying that Advocate Zandile Mshololo earlier indicated that she wanted to bring an application. And I guess that application related to the postponement. What's currently happening at the moment is that Advocate Zandile Mshololo, together with other legal representation, are looking at possible dates for when this trial will be postponed to. What I'm hearing at the moment, it could be anything in September to even November, where we might possibly be back at this court. But the issue pertaining to the second docket, many eyebrows had been raised, as I indicated, Nzinga, about why there were 2 dockets that had been, in this particular trial, 2 investigations, parallel investigations, if I may. And the issue now is that the DPP in the South Gauteng division indicating that there'd been no decision at all pertaining to the second docket, and that was merely an opinion of a junior advocate. And we suspect that at a much later stage, Advocate Zandile Mshololo is going to challenge that.
SABC News senior reporter Griselda Lewis just giving us an update there on the Senzo Meyiwa murder case that's currently taking place, and she will keep on following those proceedings and updating us on those.